And introducing the next legend on stage, live and direct at Luminosity, Mr. John WKO Fleming.
John, let's talk about your new album.
Yeah.
How's it going? How much is finished right now?
I've given you a little scoop as we're talking then, so nobody knows anything about this album but me, and I've kind of kept it that way, so you got a little bit of an exclusive. I had my first debut album in my career, which was released last year in October, 9 Lives, but I've kept the best stuff for this album, and for the past almost a year now I've been working on this album. I'm going back to my roots really with this. A lot of people know that I'm quite vocal with where I'm at in the scene, and I'm kind of rebelling, and this album is very underground, very dark, very underground, not a sniff of vocal on there, and it's just pure electronic music.
So I mean, style-wise, what are we talking, since a lot of styles are changing right now? What style do you want to reach with the album right now?
Well, I'm a traditional DJ, and true traditional DJs don't get stuck in a genre or a subgenre. You know, we carry around record bags full of music to handle any situation that we're presented with, so we play a whole range of music, and that's what my album is. I mean, today kind of producer DJs have a certain style, and that's what they have, and then they move to the next thing, but I'm representing myself as a true DJ and a true artist. So you got breaks on there, you got deep progressive, you've got trance, you've got techno, you got psytrance. But I'm saying these genres in the way I feel them. Like trance is what I remember trance, what it used to be when trance was born. But say the word trance today, and it means something completely different. So it's more the more underground forms of these music.
If we say trance today, what does it mean to you? If we look at the EDM called trance of today, what do you think about that right now?
But it's the fields. There's like two fields. And the last decade, you got a lot of these commercial guys which are making trance, which what I call it something different, they call my music something different. So there's this translation which has got lost between the two of us, and it's difficult to say who's right and who's wrong. It's just what I believe is trance is not a certain thing. It doesn't have to have a vocal, doesn't have to have melodies. Trance is a feeling, not a word. And you could hear trance within any musical genre. You could hear trance within some African drummers. If it starts to trance you out, it's the feeling I'm talking about, not the music style or what's said on Beatport's latest trance section. It's a feeling to me, and I think that's what's gone missing, and that's where genres have got confused over the last decade. Like progressive should be something that progressively builds, but what progressive is today is just a slow down version of trance. It's very, very hard, this genre thing, and a lot of us get frustrated and confused.
If we go back to the album, how much is finished right now as we speak?
It's all done.
It's all done?
I can relax. It's all done. I'm actually working towards another album, which will be the year after. I'm really on a mission in the studio at the moment. I've made music for TV and films for a long time, and I never put my music towards dance world in the last decade because I felt it got overlooked, because the scene got swamped with commercialism, and every time I put a release out, no one would really get it and understand it. It wouldn't get reviewed properly, but now I feel the scene's changing again. I feel like the underground, the more specialist scene is coming back, so now it's time for me to give to that scene that understand it. You know, I like to make stuff which is missing in my DJ sets. For example, if I'm playing a set and I've got to avoid a certain style I want to get to and I can't find it, that's what I filled within the studio. And it's generally all trance orientated, but the beats and everything will be in different styles. Like some have got traditional kind of break beats, some have got like a slow electronica kind of beats, and some are pounding, full of energy, but all with that trance feeling. You know, it's hypnotic. And to some people they might say, oh, where's the melody, where's the breakdown, where's this? But to me, that's not what trance is about. You know, trance is getting someone in a hypnotic state, lost in the music, and that's what I've wanted to achieve with this music. It's not music to be played on the radio, it's not for commercial sale, I don't care for it to be in a Beatport Top 100. It's something from here, and it's a tool for the dance floor. So that's me.
I can see that you're 100% happy with the album.
Yeah, seriously, big time. The first album, it was kind of tracks that I had made over the years, and it's like what I wanted to do was the second album is the true album. So this album, you're going to see a big difference to the one last year. This is the true me. The first one was just, I didn't want to give my best first. I wanted to give my best next. So that's what I'm kind of doing with this one.
So you still had tracks for this album when you did the first one?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I saved them. I just let the first one go. Let everyone talk about the excitement of my first album, but the second album is the one that I'm really proud of.
Tell me about your favorite track.
I think this one may be called WKO. Don't ask why. And it reminds me of when trance was born, and trance was related to techno many years ago. There was a fine line between techno and trance. It was all new back in them days. It was like heavy hardcore breaks. This is like 1989, 1999, 1990. And then this kind of 4/4 style came out. People called it techno, but it was also trancey. So that's how it's naturally got its trance name. And it's taken me way back to that moment of 1990, the early days of trance, but brought bang up to date. So you hear it's just very, very hypnotic, but with kind of techno beats. So I'm really proud of that one. That was like a little baby to me. I'm really, really super proud of that one.
What's the most experimental track?
There's one where I spent a lot of time making sounds, and you'll hear it, and it's quite low tempo, but instead of having like normal hi-hat patterns and the usual things, you'll hear I made sounds from nothing, even like glitches. I'd pull like a jack plug in and out to make a crackle and a click, and then I made from that click and that crackle, I've made the percussion. So I've really thought outside the box to how to make this sound different. So all this percussion is made from weird noises, but it comes together. It's really weird how it sounds, but it sounds really good. So I've spent a lot of time on that one.
So how much better is the new album than the last one, do you think, right now, when it's finished?
A million miles, really. It's like night and day. Though everybody loved my last album, and I was proud of it, but I think it's very difficult if your first album is so good to try and follow that up. People will always be looking at the first one. Oh, it's not as good as the first one. Not as good as the first one. I didn't want that, so that's why I let these other good tracks go, which I'm still happy with. But this is the one that I'm really, really proud of. So I'd say for myself, as an artist, would like naturally want to keep moving forward musically. I'm so happy with this one. Really happy.
Amazingly enough, after this album, which is finished right now, you have already started working on something new.
Yeah. Well, I made a conscious decision a couple of years back. I was touring like crazy, and the scene is growing around the world, and it just means a lot of long-haul flights. And I was so tired when I was coming back from a 20-hour trip, getting back on Monday, Friday the next cycle begins. So you had this short window in the middle to do DJ stuff, run the label, and try and make music. And I wasn't doing my best work. And I make my own stuff. And I know a lot of other guys, they use ghost writers, they have a whole team of people, and I haven't got that infrastructure. We'll say that the one person that has helped me a hell of a lot is Airwave. You're going to see him tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Airwave has been a real rock to me. You know, we're super close friends anyway. We help one another non-stop all the time, and I've had to reach out to Lauren a few times and to say, Lauren, I need some help, and he's given me all sorts of production help, friends help, a hug help, everything help. But it's been a hard slog, and you know that decision of giving me more time in the studio has allowed me to be more creative. Rather than going on autopilot, I'll be able to dig myself in a synthesizer, think about what I want to make, how I want to make it, and how it's going to unfold. So it's been a lot better the last 2 years, rather than just rushing, which wasn't great really to be an artistic.
Do you sometimes wish that you had a team of ghost producers?
No, because the problem is with ghost producers, it becomes a factory. You're making like a product just to roll it out on the factory level because your management are telling you to make this because you're trying to better your career. And I'm not like that. I'm artistic, and a ghostwriter can't see and hear. He can't see the weird, dark, strange visions I have in my head. No matter how many times I can try and explain it, he can't see it. I can't relate or translate to what I'm thinking here. I'm the only person that can have that vision and unfold that vision with my music. And you'll see all all the best bands, all the best artistic creators in the world are the ones that write their own music. And that still today, many years later, those artistic people are still here. Generally the people that have team of people behind them, they've got a short shelf life because someone else has come along. And it's being creative allows you to move forward and constantly be on the ball and predict or work out what's going to happen within the scene, or even move the scene forward yourself. And that's an important thing to do, and have your own style. And that's why I will never turn to a ghostwriter. I still have to be the creative aspect of that. Hello, I'm John WKO Fleming, and we're at this wonderful Luminosity Festival. And it's not raining.